Hi, I'm Dempsey Pawat, and this week I'm reviewing... Now, before we start off, as always, I just want to take a quick second to remind you guys to make sure you hit that like button if you liked today's video, and if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well for more new movie-related content weekly. But, without further ado, let's jump into today's film. Uncle Frank was written and directed by Alan Ball, and stars Sophia Lillis, Paul Bettany, and Peter Macdessie. The film revolves around a closeted gay man, played by Bettany, as he heads back home to his disapproving father's funeral, accompanied by both his shy and sheltered niece and his lover. Now, I thought this film was great. What starts off as a coming-of-age story quickly shifts into a coming-out story, but not just coming out in terms of sexuality, coming out of your shell, realizing your true potential. And I think that we see that the most with Sophia Lillis' character, who, despite top billing, isn't really our main character. She plays Uncle Frank's niece, and even though she isn't the main character, we see a lot of the film through her eyes. For most of the film, she's actually in college, and one thing that I think Lillis conveys especially well is just how vulnerable people are at that point in their lives. Yes, you have your whole life ahead of you, but at the same time, you're pretty impressionable. But what I like that the film does is that it doesn't really show her being influenced by negative things. Instead, she's learning about her uncle's lifestyle and his life for the very first time. And she's taking in his slow self-acceptance, and she's using it not only to build her own moral code, but to finally understand just how different her hometown is from the rest of the real world. Paul Bettany gives a career best performance here. Yes, it's even better than this. Despite always being the smartest person in the room, Bettany makes it abundantly clear that Frank is always scared and vulnerable. Frank is complex, but above all, he's human. And kudos to Alan Ball for writing such great human characters in the first place. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with his work, he previously wrote and won an Academy Award for directing American Beauty. He has a knack for making his characters so realistic and relatable that at times you feel like you're watching a true story unfold right before your very eyes. Aside from Lillis and Bettany's characters, though, I think it's Peter Macdessie's that really steals the show. He easily delivers what is one of my favorite performances of the year as Frank's lover, Wally. All at once, Wally's loud, loving, fearless, and fragile. Did I also mention he's a scene stealer? In fact, one of my favorite scenes with him is when Frank discovers that he's actually been tailing him on his cross-country trip. It's a scene that's so funny and really cute that you kind of understand why Frank can't be mad at him. He's such a great character. I can't emphasize it enough. And as much as I would love to see him in the Academy Award conversation for Best Supporting Actor, I've heard that Amazon might be campaigning this film as a TV movie for the Emmys. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens, but I do hope that he gets some recognition from this role because it is just too good to be ignored. Now, if I'm being honest, my only real problem with this film is that it does start to get a bit cheesy and cliched towards the end. For a while, towards the end, the film takes you in this really dark direction, and then out of nowhere, it kind of switches, and then it becomes almost too happily ever after all of a sudden. I'm not saying that I didn't like the way the film ended, but it felt too unnatural for me. It honestly felt like a rewrite done to please audiences, to make the film end on a happier note. One other issue I had with this film was the underutilization of Judy Greer. And I know that I've probably spoken about this before on the channel, but Judy Greer is one of my favorite actresses working in Hollywood today. And she's in this film, but she's not in it nearly as much as she should be. Okay? Don't sleep on Judy Greer. Honestly, there are a lot of actors in this film that I feel are underused. And I get it because at the end of the day it is Frank's story, but at the same time, you can't have a stacked cast and not really tap into its full potential. Uncle Frank may not be your average family film, but it's still a pretty good one because of the way that it preaches unity. Yes, every family may have its issues, but just because you may not see eye to eye with some of the people that you're connected to by blood doesn't mean that they're not going to be there for you when you need them the most. And that's an incredibly powerful message. And for that, I'm going to give this film 4 stars.
Are you the stupidest man alive?
Obviously, look who I'm with.
Guys, Uncle Frank is available exclusively on Amazon Prime right now if you want to check it out, but that is not all. In addition to this review this week, I am also going to be sharing with you an interview that I did with the film's lead actress, Sophia Lillis. Yes, I was fortunate enough to speak with her about the film. It's a very brief interview, but I think it went very well. I'll put the link in the description box below, and I hope you enjoy that as much as you hopefully enjoyed this review. But that's pretty much all the time that I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to view this video. It really does mean the world to me. If you liked it, please make sure to hit that like button. Once again, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. If you happen to see the film, let me know what you thought about it down below in the comment section so I can read, react, respond, all that good stuff. And yeah, I have a bunch of other stuff that I'm currently working on, so be on the lookout for it. And I guess until next time, I'm Dempsey Pollard. Take care.